Hello everyone. Again, I'm welcoming you to my YouTube channel and my course, which is a free course, obviously. So, in the last session or in the day one, we have discussed many foundational things about cybersecurity, the foundational concept. Now, from today, we are officially starting our journey in cybersecurity. But before I go more into the topic, start today's lesson, I want to do a simple announcement, which is I will give a Google Form link in the description box and in the uh, comment section of this video. You have to fill up the form. So this Google form will ask you some mini information about yourself, because later I will invite you to a Telegram group or any other kinds of communication where you can talk with me directly, because I'm going to make a group where if you are gonna learn about something, for example, you are following my guidelines. On that case, if you have any question regarding the topic, you can ask me directly, and also you can make a network with other students who will join in the group. Okay, so obviously submit the obviously, first of all, fill up the form using your information, give your information some information which is necessary, and after that submit the form. And again, I am requesting for the apology, because I may made many mistakes while I'm talking in English, because I'm not a native speaker. I'm from Bangladesh. So, and I learn everything about cybersecurity by myself. I research about the concept in Google and other search engines, and that's the journey. Whatever. First of all, talk about something, which is, before I start today's main lesson, I need to know that what is the foundational concept that needed to know at first before learning or before starting the journey of cybersecurity. So, first of all, you need to know or you need to learn some foundational knowledge. So, let's talk about foundations. Okay. Number one is, obviously you need to know the Linux fundamentals. Linux fundamentals. Nextly, you need to know Windows fundamentals. Thirdly, you need to know something called regular expressions, and it is actually included in with Linux fundamentals. From the Linux fundamentals, you will know about it. So what are the regular expressions? Regular expressions, something like that. uh, for example, you have a long string and you want to search the string using some shortcut. In that case, you can search about that using some regular expressions. You will know about it. And also you need to regular expression for bash scripting. So bash scripting is a scripting language which uses actually the Linux command line. So if you want to learn about bash scripting, obviously you need to know one thing, which is regular expressions. After that, you need to know something called cryptography. So cryptography. So besides that, you need to know at least one programming language. I will prefer Python for automation. And also you need to know something called bash scripting, as I have mentioned earlier. And after that, you also need to know some foundational knowledge about web, which is web basics, actually, how the web works, what is DNS, how actually DNS works. That's all. So nextly, which is web basics, and finally something called networking. Okay, so these are the foundational concepts. Obviously, you have to clear before jumping into cybersecurity. Okay, and this course is based on intro level or entry level red teaming, which we refer as penetration testing. But penetration testing is different. I mean, there are many differences between penetration testing and red teaming. If you even don't know about like web application pen testing, you can still be a red teamer. So there are huge difference, but I will mention that. But if you can learn penetration testing at first, your red teaming journey will be more smooth. That's my recommendation. That's all. Okay, fine. And today we will see some concept about Linux fundamentals. So I will just give you one lecture about Linux fundamentals, and after that I will give you some instructions that you have to follow. I will give you some resources that you must have to complete it in a period time. I hope you can do it. All right. So I have some expectation from you because I am giving these videos for free, 100% free, no charge. But in return, I need something, which is obviously you have to be dedicated um, till the end of this course, and obviously follow my instruction. I hope you can do good. All right. So first of all, I need to talk about something called virtualization. What is actually virtualization? Virtualization is the concept of running multiple operating system in a single computer. Uh, Once upon a time there are no virtualization. On that case, for example, I need to use two operating systems, let's say Windows and Linux. I have only one computer. How I can run both? It is very, very crucial for me. I have two options. First of all, I have to buy a new computer. Second option is dual booting. Okay, first of all, what is booting? You need to know about booting. Booting means whenever I turn on my computer components like motherboard, from motherboard, the system starts from the CPU and then goes to the other components. So it takes some time to load properly. This process is called booting. Okay. And what is dual booting? Dual booting means I have one single computer, but it is running two operating system. But I can't run two operating systems simultaneously at the same time. If I'm running number one operating system, number two operating system will be turned off. And if I'm running number two operating system, that means the first operating system will be turned off. All right. So that's a real issue. I need to use both operating systems at the same time. What I can do? On that case, I have the concept of virtualization. What is actually the virtualization? Virtualization means, let's say my main operating system is Windows, and I'm running a Linux operating system in a virtual machine. For example, it is a software. It is actually software where I'm running Linux, and still my main operating system is Windows. That means virtualization means running a, an entire operating system virtually using a simple software. That is called virtualization. And why virtualization is so much important? Because, for example, you know about cloud computing. Cloud computing actually uses virtualization concept. Without virtualization, you can't actually deploy a machine in or deploy a website in cloud. So you need to know about it. And if you don't know about cloud computing, no worries. But if I have to say shortly, cloud computing is a concept of, um, let's say, once upon a time, if I want to start my own startup, on that case, to deploy my website, so I have to buy an entire server. But nowadays, new companies don't buy any server. They actually buy cloud. What I mean by that, cloud is like I am running my business from Bangladesh, but my website, my business, everything details about it deployed in another machine, another computer, which is maybe based in USA. This is the concept of cloud computing, and virtualization uses it. Cloud computing uses the concept of virtualization. And now I have to say, there are two types of virtualization exist. First of all, type 1 virtualization, type 1, and we have another which is type 2 virtualization. Okay, so there are two type of virtualization, type 1 and type 2. So type 1 virtualization is actually It is the kind of virtualization that can access all of your storage devices. For example, you have SSD, HD both. So type 1 virtualization can access the whole storage device. But type is different. Type 2 is a kind of virtualization that can access only the storage that are given. For example, I have given only 20 GB access to the virtualization, so it can only access the 20 GB. Okay, this is the type 2 virtualization, and professionally we actually use type 2 virtualization. For type 2 virtualization, we actually use some softwares like vmware or virtualbox. Both do the same thing. It is software. In this software I can run many operating system. All right, so before installing any operating system in software like this, you need to ensure that you have enabled virtualization in your operating system. So how to enable virtualization? You can use Google. I won't show you because I'm not someone that who will show you everything from scratch to advanced. I will give you some guidelines. You have to use the resources I will provide you. So you can use Google. For example, your operating system is Windows 10, and let's say you're using Intel i5. So how to enable virtualization Windows 11, let's say Intel i5. You can use Google or you can use also YouTube. So if that's your system, so restart your computer first of all, then enter the BIOS UEFI. You can use these key buttons from your keyboard continuously. After the restarting, you will be access to the virtualization. After that, navigate to advanced menu or CPU configuration tab. Set Intel Virtual Technology or VTX enabled. That's all. Okay, you can do that by yourself. But if you are facing any problems, you can ask me anyway, because as I said earlier, you have to fill up a Google form. I will add you to a group. I will mail you, so where you can contact with me, ask me questions directly. All right, so don't worry about it. I will help you anyways, and there will be many people who will help you. Okay, I hope that will help you in many ways. Okay, all right, fine. So after that, you have to install virtualization software, and I will suggest obviously go with VMware. VirtualBox is very slow, and I don't like VirtualBox personally. So you have to download VMware. So that's a VMware. So what you can do, you have to log into VMware. Let's say I want to download VMware products. Let's go to VMware products, and then the name of the software is VMware Workstation Pro. So my product is VMware Workstation. Let's see. What are the software name? vSphere, no, VMware, vDefend, and so. Let's see. Yes, this one. Fusion Workstation. I have to download Workstation. So this is there. That's the one I'm looking for. So download now. And whenever you will click for download now, you will be redirected to their another website, and it is the main owner of the VMware is Broadcom. Broadcom is a company that made VMware, and that's their website for VMware. So you have to sign up first of all. After that, you can download. And if a Windows or Linux, whatever user you are, if you're a Windows user, you will get a exe file. Just click double times on that, and just next. You will be the VMware workstation will download it. And if you are the next user, it will give you, I guess, some kind of file. So you have to just give a permission to it using chmod. So and obviously, if you're Linux user, you have to ask me. I will show you. Okay. So whenever you will download VMware for first time, let's open it. Okay, it will look like this one. So blank actually. So you have to do one more thing, which is first of all, I will suggest you to start with Kali Linux as you are starting your journey with cybersecurity. So to install Kali operating system using this VMware, first of all, you need to download ISO file. So go to kali.org website, and after that, go to Get Kali and click Install Images, and obviously download this file. So this is 4.4 GB ISO file actually. Just you have to download the ISO file. When the file will be downloaded, go to VMware, then click File, then then click on New Virtual Machine, and then click Next, and it will ask for your first of all the ISO image. You have to select it, then Next again. Then you have to say what is your full name and what is your username, and you can enter password, but I will not. But let's say password is 12345678990. You can do the same thing here, and after that go to again Next, and you have to specify the location where the operating system configuration file will be uh, stored, and by default it has suggested me this location. Go to again Next, and you have to specify how many storage or how many disk size you will provide. I have said that I will provide 20 GB, and obviously click store this virtual disk is a single file, then again Next. And as you can see, there's some specification. I will click on customize hardware, and first of all I'm gonna give memory 4 GB. Fine, this is the memory or RAM. Then processor is fine, and network adapter is first of all what this first of all bridge means it will use a public IP. So bridge connection means it will use a public IP. Net means it is a private IP. That means it can communicate with the host still, but it is still provided the private IP. That means it is under the network of my Wi-Fi. Then host only means it is truly private network. Right now only I can communicate with this system using my computer. Then I have custom, where you can specify custom network. For custom network, you have to do some configuration. I will show you later. For example, let me show you. And you can click on finish after that. Your booting will be started for the operating system. As I'm not making an operating system, I will cross it. And let me show you edit and virtual network editor. And let's enter the password. And as you can see, these are some network configuration. You can click any new network, or you can actually modify the network. Let's say add network, and you can actually uh, create a new network here. All right, so these are some settings. I guess you can uh, boot the system by yourself, but if you need any help, obviously ask your questions on the group that I will create. Okay, I hope you're getting my point. Now let's get back to main topic, which is some concept about Linux. I will show you some basic things first of all, and after showing you the basic things, I will go to the main topic. I mean, I will give you the resources from where you will learn more things, and I will give you some time to complete. For example, let's say I will give you 15 days for completing Linux. You have to follow the resources I will provide you. Okay. So first of all, let's open a notebook or online notebook, let's say, and whiteboard. Okay, wait. Whiteboard online. Let's open a whiteboard online right now. Okay, wait a minute. I'm just facing some small issues. Recently, Weibo, I guess this one or this one. Whatever the thing is, I just forgot. Which site was that? To be honest, I forgot. Which site was that I used last time? as a whiteboard. Maybe this one, I guess. Okay, fine. Let's begin. So first of all, let's talk about some history of Linux. First of all, the journey started in 1967 actually. Okay, wait a minute. I'm using mouse actually. So 1967. So on that time, actually, in the Bell Labs of New Jersey, someone started to building a new operating system for businesses like organizations or companies. So the name was actually Dennis Rich, maybe. The name was Dennis Rich, who actually he also have a partner for that. He was not making an enterprise system by himself. So Dennis Rich and his partner was making an operating system in binary actually. So on that time actually there were no programming languages, to be honest. On that time people used something called B language, and B language was something which where you have to do coding, enter I mean you have to do coding the entire things in binary actually. So doing everything in binary is not easy actually. For making a simple program that you can do a simple program, let's say Python. In Python you can write hello world. For the same thing, if you try to do the same thing in binary, you have to do many program. So that was not easy, but they have created an operating system called Unix entirely in B language. So after that, they created also a programming language called C language, and the language was created also in binary. And after creating the language, which is C programming, they rewrite the operating system, I mean the Unix, in C language. So after that, they started selling the operating system commercially, and it became many famous. But it was not famous among the normal people like us. For example, there are many people who have to use a computer for their personal usage, so that were not available for normal people. So on that time, there was someone whose name was Linux Torvalds. Linus Torvalds, actually, Linux Torvalds. He was the man who actually created kernel for as his personal project. He need an kernel actually, so he created a kernel, and the name was Linux. So it was not an operating system; it was a kernel. Kernel means the core of the operating system who manages everything, for example, task scheduling and every processes for us. So that's the work of kernel. And whenever you mix kernel with something called, there was something called GNU project on the time. So GNU project is a open source project for creating free softwares, free tools for normal users. So I have mixed up something, a Linux kernel plus some GNU project where all the open source softwares are available. We created an operating system that was Linux operating system. So after that, there are many operating system came which is based on Linux actually. So they are called the distribution of Linux. So what are the distribution or distro? So the distributions or distro means, I mean, for example, let's say uh, before I talk about distributions, you should know about something called open source. What do we mean by open source? The meaning of open source is two things. First of all, the software is 100% free. We can use the thing entirely for free. Secondly, there is another thing which you should know, that is the source code is available. Source code is available online. That means using that source code, I can modify the thing, modify the entire kernel or operating system and create a new operating system. So obviously the Linux operating system was open source. So there are many hardware programmer developers who modified the thing and created many new operating system from the Linux actually. And if I'm creating an operating system by modifying its source code and adding many more capabilities. This is called a distributions or distro. So I will say shortly distro. And there are many distribution Linux have actually. For example, you may heard about Debian, then Fedora. So Debian is a distribution of Linux, and Kali Linux is a distribution of Debian. Okay, so that's actually a distribution or distro. So that was some history, but I guess that were also not needed. But let's talk about some basic things. So first of all, this one. This one is called shell. What is actually shell? First of all, computer can understand plain English. You can understand what I am trying to tell you because you know English. If there was someone who can only understand Bangla, I have to speak in Bangla. Like this, the operating system can't understand English or Hindi. It can understand something called machine code. Machine code means the pure binary, 1, 0 actually. Computer can understand only the thing 1 and 0. This is called binary. And shell is someone actually. So using the shell, I will give instruction to the operating system or the computer, and the computer will actually execute by instruction. So that means this is the shell. Shell is the translator between the user and the operating system. All right. So there are many kinds of shell exist. For example, by default, there are many Linux operating system uses Bash shell. So there is the main shell was created in maybe 1970. The shell name was Burn shell. Then after developing the Burn shell, we got Bash shell, which was Burn again shell. And after developing the Burn again shell, we got another shell, which is Z shell or ZSH, which is the default shell of Kali Linux. How I can see the my default shell in my Kali? You can use echo, then use dollar, then shell. As you can see, ZSH is my default shell. All right. So there are many other kinds of shell exist. No worries. But that's the thing I would like to show you. Now let's talk about some basic commands. As a cybersecurity researcher, you have to know about. Don't depend on something called GUI or clicking on software it will open. You have to do 90% of your work using command line. You have to type some commands. After typing the commands, you will just press an enter from your keyboard, and the shell will execute your instruction. Okay, so it will save your time most of the time actually. So you have to do it. Whatever. Let's do some basic thing. First of all, we have copy command, move command, and there are many other type of command. So let me show you some basic commands actually, which I will start with creating a file. Let's create a file. For creating a file, I will use touch. Let's say I want to create a file called let's say double G. The file is created. How I can see if the file is created? I can see using ls command, which will list everything, every folder, every files in my current working directory or in my current location. Let's see. So we got a file called gg. I can also edit it using some text terminal based editor, terminal based text editor. So let's say I have nano. So let's use nano. And as you can see, this is the nano. Under the we are right now we are under the nano. You can type anything. Let's say it's my file. Let's say now I need to save it. For saving it, you have some shortcut following. So this sign means control. The control plus O, that means write out, that means it will save. So control plus O, enter, saved. Now get out from here, control plus X. So I got out from the nano. So how I can read the thing in the terminal? So using cat command, you can read it. So cat gg, you can read this one. Let's create directory. Before creating any directory, let's remove this file. Just use rm command for removing, then gg. So it will remove. Okay. Then create a directory mkdir. Let's say mkdir. Okay, let's say day2. That's my directory name. Let's go to our directory using cd. Cd means change directory. change in date to, and you can make also file here using touch command as well. Touch, let's say 1 2 3 4 5 6. Using this one, actually I'm creating 6 files. So you can create single file, you can create multiple file. It depends on your wish actually. So let's say I have created these 6 files. So let's try to do one thing, which is how I can go back. For example, first of all, let's see our current location. For seeing our current location, you have to use something called pwd. So pwd means paint working directory. That's our current location. Let's go one step back using cd, then dot dot. It will go one step back actually. Then ls again. I want to remove this directory. I mean, which one? This directory. How I can remove? If I try using rm day2, I will get an error actually. The error is it's a directory, and how I can actually remove it? I have rmdir command. Let's try to do this. Rmdir, then day2. Again, we have a problem. Fail to remove day2 because directory is not empty. If the directory was empty, I could remove using rmdir. Now it is not possible. How I can do that? Using rm command, but also I am minus rf. These are called flags or options. So r means recursive. Recursive means it will remove the directory. Also, it will remove all the content that are under the directory. F means force. It is the same as rm minus or minus f, or you can mix up rm minus rf. It is the same thing. Then just specify day2. It is removed. You can also see the help section, minus minus help, to see the help section of the command, and you can see more advanced usage. So these are some basic commands actually. There are many commands like this, like cp for copying files, the mv for moving files. You can also rename using move command. Okay, so but I should show you some sensitive location before ending the session. As I said, I will not show you the entire thing. I will just guide you that you needed to know. So let's talk about some important files, sensitive files. First of all, let's try to read a file. Cat slash etc slash passwd actually. So it's a file where all kinds of user exist. Let's say this is my root user. There are three kinds of user exist in system: root user or administrator who have every kind of permission. Then local user like me. Let's say that, for example, actually this is my username and this is the host name of the system, and as you can see, that's my username also. Okay, and the third type of user is service user or others user, which is some kinds of process actually. This processor runs, and for being running the process, my operating system is running very smoothly. That's all. And there we have another location, which is shadow. But I will get an error because if you want to read this file, you have to be a root user. I don't have the root permission right now because I'm a normal user. For reading that, you can do one thing: use sudo before the thing, because using sudo will the meaning of sudo is super do. That means I'm getting the root permission temporarily. If I just enter to ask for my password, I'm entering my password, and I can read right now. Okay. So before wrapping up or closing the session, I want to say some important things to you. Okay. There are three kinds of desktop environment exist in any operating system. One is XFC, one is Genome, and one is KDE. Right now, my operating system is using actually, let's right now my operating system using XFCE actually, XFCE, and you are seeing that. Okay, I hope you are getting my point. All right, so I am giving you some resources. You have to follow that. First of all, I will show you the resources that you have to follow. These are all free resources you have to follow. I will show you in the browser. Also, I will provide in the comment section and in the description box. First of all, first resource is what is the first resource? The first resource that you have to follow is Linux Essential by Cisco. So Cisco Linux Essential course, which is a very great resource. So Linux Essentials. So that's the course. I will provide a link of it. So you have to follow this. It's a very detailed course. It have 18 chapters. 8 chapters have lab. 8 chapters have exams. That's also MCU type exam actually. First of all, you have to complete this one. After that, you have to follow, which is Hack the Box Linux Fundamentals course. So let's see, Linux Fundamentals. So you have to follow this course also. You must have to complete specifically the lab or the task that is provided in the course that you have to follow. You will gain more knowledge about Linux. And finally, um, I will provide some machining. Okay, you have to solve it from HTB Labs. The machines are very free actually, so you don't have to worry about it. And for the reference, you can also use Google, I hope. And for completing these things, I am giving you 20 days. 20 days, you may think 20 days is a very huge time, but the resources are very big also. So you need time to complete these things. Okay, I hope you got my point. So I will see you in the next session, maybe after 20 days. So the session is ending here, and must fill up the form that I'm providing you, the Google form. Yeah, okay.